All right, welcome everyone to Be Mother Live. Today we've got the brand new release from XM Studios. This is, of course, the White Queen herself, Miss Emma Frost. And I just got this statue in yesterday, so just today we're just going to do a quick first impressions and some facts about the statue. If you have any questions, be sure to put them in the chat. I'll try and get to as many as I can. If I miss any, I will go back through the chat later and try and answer some in the comments below the video so you can check back if I miss your question. So let's get started here. I have a few things to go through. All right, let's start off with some of the size and dimensions for the statue. The base here, the marble base, is about 11¼ inches diameter. The overall height is about 20 inches. And the statue weighs about 20 pounds. So it's a pretty beefy statue, actually, for its size. I'm surprised by how heavy it feels. Now, I know since Mystique came out, I think it was earlier this year, or maybe last year, everyone's worried about scale and sizing of the XM females. Emma, she is listed at 5'10", so she is a little bit taller character. If you measure from her heel, not the heel of her shoe, but her actual heel of her foot to the top of her head, she's in the 17 to 17 and a half, somewhere in there, depending on where you measure to the top of her head. So she's about right for height. I haven't had a chance to put her next to other statues yet, but maybe we'll do that in a side-by-side episode or something. But I think size is okay for this one here. So just in case you're wondering, anyone who wants to know about the shipper box, a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, which is always a good thing. It's about 26 inches by 24 inches by 15 and about 34 pounds. So for an XM box, that is not too bad. Let's see here. Nice bubble butt. Yeah, she's got a little bit of that going on there, so not too bad. Let's see here. What else do I got? Let's talk about, okay, the print and the plaque. I'll show you those. So the print right there, actually a pretty nice print. It's got some kind of ambient lighting going on there, like she's sitting in front of a fireplace or something at the Hellfire Club. It's kind of a nice print. The plaque, got that there. So these newer ones say limited edition. They used to be numbered, but the newer ones don't have a number on them. And you can display that next to your statue if you like. Sherwin's asking it's not oversized. I don't believe it is. I think she's a good size, an appropriate size. She is a taller character, remember. She's about 5'10", so for a female, she is fairly tall. So let's keep going here. Okay, so printing the plaque you saw. So the paint, I want to talk about the paint. I had someone message me this morning. I posted a photo on Instagram and they said, oh my God, is she white or is she silver? And my answer to that is she's kind of both and kind of neither at the same time. It's a pearly paint finish on this statue. It's really quite nice in person. Parts of her costume are actually silver. The textured parts like the front of her pants, the front of her shirt, these small areas of her gloves, those are actually silver. This part of her top is more of a gray, sort of a matte gray or silver color. And I would say her pants are more white, but depending on how the light hits it, it takes on different colors. It's a pearlescent silvery white. We'll call it that. So the paint job, I like it. But if you want it to be pure white, it's definitely not pure white. So just be aware of that. What's the weight on the box? The gross weight. It was 34 pounds. Okay, so that's the gross weight of the box. So not too bad for this one. The portrait, we'll get to those. I have some close-ups of both portraits. You get two portraits, two different arm setups here for her as well for the left arm. So I got close-ups of those coming up in just a few minutes. So stay tuned for that. It is coming. Let's see, assembly. Okay, so I was a little surprised when I took this out of the box that, of course you got the round base and you got the chair, but her lower body, her legs, The lower part of the cape are actually attached to the chair when you take it out. And then you got her waist here, the two arms, the head, and the cape. Pretty easy to put together. The assembly video was not available on the YouTube channel, the XM YouTube channel, last night when I got this, so you kind of had to figure it out. I recommend that you put her right arm on to the body before you put the body down onto the legs. I found that a little bit easier. Now, speaking of her right hand, underneath her fingers, there's little dimples in her leg. And it didn't clue into me when I took it out of the box that her hand would go there, and I just about lost it. I thought they totally screwed up on the casting or something like that. There's chips in my statue or something like that, but no, her hand goes there, and that's where her fingers go. So just keep that in mind when you unbox yours. Kind of freaked me out. Any texture on her costume or cape? Yes, the cape is textured on the inside. They got kind of a striped pattern or ribbed pattern there. The outside of the cape is smooth. On her costume, yes, there are textured areas. The front of her shirt, these little areas here on her glove, the front of her pants, the side of her pants there is all textured. The rest of it is pretty smooth though. She's good as a Dark Phoenix and Storm. Well, we'll get to that. Storm, I never saw the production piece. I only saw the prototype at Singapore Comic-Con a few years back. Okay, so we talked about the dimples on the leg. The rose is a separate piece. So she does have the separate hand where the rose fits into it. So it slides into her hand, and her fingers are kind of curled over. So make sure you get it underneath her fingers when you put that in there. It's also a little, I found it a little tricky to find in the box. I didn't realize it was kind of stuck under a piece of foam, so just keep an eye out for that in the box. Let's see, you do get the alternate portrait here. Now again, I'll show you a close-up of that here coming up right away. This is kind of the bitchy portrait, I call it. She looks a little more evil and sinister, I think, with this one, and the blue steel lipstick there. A lot of people liking that short hair portrait. To be honest, I got a lot of people saying that they like that one better, including my wife at the start when she first saw it. It surprised me a little bit because of the blue lipstick, but let me just catch up on some of the questions here. How does the cape key in? Okay, so the cape comes in two pieces. The bottom half of the cape is pre-attached to the chair. It's stuck on there. And then this part here keys into her left shoulder. So there's a key with a magnet there, and you just kind of drop it in. And then this string here fits under the button, and the button, the X button on her chest there, is a separate piece that fits in with a magnet as well. So that's another small item in the box that you gotta keep an eye out for. So pretty easy assembly with the cape actually, but be careful you don't scratch anything as you drop it down into place. Let's see here. Some kind of switch out to show her powers. Yeah, some kind of diamond form or something, I assume you're talking about. That would have been cool. Does she have the same XM issue? About the clothes not being worn, this one's a little bit better. You know, her shirt is pretty well skin tight, and it's all cast as one piece. So that shirt looks okay. The gloves, obviously you got the trim, that's where it comes off, so you don't notice it there. The belt is pretty good too. It's not as bad as Colossus or Cyclops, so it looks a little bit better in that regard. There are some minor gaps and seams, you know, where the parts do fit together. On her waist, there's a little one over here. On the right arm, there's a little one there, but they're all kind of in areas where you're not really going to see them. It's not overwhelming or anything, so just keep that in mind, but I think it still is definitely a presentable statue for sure. So any obvious seam, just talked about that, so not super obvious, but you know, you will notice a few here and there. Okay, so the eyes on both portraits, googly eyes can ruin a statue, of course. Both of these, on mine at least, look pretty good, I would say. No issues there. Let's see here. Okay, we'll get to now the close-ups I've got a little bit of B-roll here for you guys, so just fire that up. You can have a look. And we'll start off with the base here. I think the base on this statue really is fantastic. It's something different than the typical rubble with Sentinel parts, so I really like what they did here. Even though it's Hellfire Club and she's got the X on her costume, you know, we can deal with it because it's such a cool looking base here. So you got the chair, the leather textures. We got an overview shot of her. So you can see on her top there, it's a little bit more gray. I don't know if it's coming out in the video. A little more gray than her pants. Her pants are a little more white. This is definitely my favorite of the two portraits. This is why I bought the statue for sure, was that one. Here we'll get a little bit close up of the costume. We'll show you the rose in hand. The blue steel portrait. Yeah, another close up of that one there. So there you have it, Emma Frost, the White Queen from XM Studios. Awkward pose that she's standing on her cape. Well, her cape just kind of fills the chair. I don't really look at it like that, but to each their own. I don't think it looks awkward. I think both portraits look really, really good. I would agree with Mehmet there. Yeah, the chair does look very real. I love the ornate metal parts of the chair. You know, it goes all the way around the top. You know, we got the Hellfire Club there, the leather texture. It does look really, really cool. And the base does have like a marble effect on it, and it's quite heavy. Just that disc part of the base is pretty heavy. You know, you got the marble Hellfire Club logo under her feet as well. One thing to note about that is there's a little lip there around that white circle, and the four legs of the chair kind of fit tight to that lip, so you kind of have to position the chair. The chair keys in with a metal peg just under this one back leg, and then you can kind of twist it a little bit into place. So keep that in mind when you're setting it up. Her foot should touch the top of that white marble there. So it is kind of like a throne piece, Daniel. I like it. It's a different base, a little bit different look for the X-Men line from XM Studios, and I think it suits the character well. It's either, you could look at it a couple of different ways. It's either a major design flaw that they put the X's and then the Hellfire Club, or it's an ingenious design that kind of captures the whole history of the character. So you could look at it a couple different ways. I really quite like it, actually. I think it's a really cool base. Flow of the cape looks good. Details on the chair, yeah, I agree with you guys there. It's a really cool statue from XM. Hope you guys enjoyed that quick look at Emma Frost. I'm going to sign off here unless anybody has any last minute questions. Fire them off right now, or we'll sign off here. Alright, doesn't look like anybody's got anything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Emma Frost. I will have a full review of the statue coming soon with more close-ups and things. And once again, if I missed any questions, I'll get to them in the comments below. There is some new stuff coming up that we can do some live stuff. Going to be some reviews. I got a couple HMO pieces. My Shiranui is in hand. The Warhammer 40K. I got the Flash from Sideshow. And I got the Tweeterhead Pennywise, which is a pretty cool piece too. So stay tuned for that. Eli is the cape, a separate piece from the chair. Part of it is, the upper part here is a separate piece. The bottom half that you see here comes attached to the chair. So yes and no. Both are right on that one. So anyways, again, hope you guys enjoyed Emma Frost from XM. Talk to you guys soon.